Hello everybody and welcome back inside the box for another episode of Gunpla Kitbash with me, kukamatsu. In this episode we'll be finishing off those leg panels. So let's jump right in. Okay, it's really starting to come together now. Those are on there nice and pretty smooth. The next thing to tackle is this gap here. Rather than try and make one whole big shape all at once, that's perfect. I'm thinking of just putting small bits on there, building it up, and then just adding more until I can get the shape that I want. Well, that's a pretty good start. It doesn't totally line up with the edge there, so I'm actually going to add a little bit of thickness to some of those parts just so that this gap meets up with this edge here instead of leaving that gap. Well, there's no doubt this is going to be tricky, but I'm going to work on it slowly and try and get it into the right shape. I'm just going to add some glue to fill up all the gaps so that when I start sanding there's something there to sand. It doesn't just knock all those styrene bits off of there. Okay, well, I now have the shape lined up the way I would like it to be and in the position I would like it to be, so there will be some backfilling to do and some sanding, of course. I just want to say this has been a lot of work, and I knew going into this that there was going to be a lot of work. It's a complex shape, and I'm trying to stretch it out and reshape it in a way that is not easy. So you may or may not choose to do this yourself, this kind of a thing, but you can apply these ideas to much simpler projects as well. I'm taking it kind of to a ridiculous reshaping level here, or I feel like I am, based on the amount of work that I'm putting into it to get it where I'm wanting it to be. But you know, I'm actually really enjoying it. I didn't know that I was going to like it so much, so I'm glad that I've decided to go to this degree of customization on these panels. Really enjoying using this Black Widow super glue by AK. The consistency is really nice. The fact that it's black is really nice. It sands really well. These God Hand sponges that I'm using sand it really nicely. So I'm just really enjoying it. So I'm just going to keep on trucking along with these, and hope you're enjoying watching it. Okay, I've gone ahead and done that on all four sides, filled in the spaces. Overall, I'm feeling pretty happy about how it turned out. The next job, I think, is actually going to go in, and the edges are pretty close, but there are some gaps and things like that. There's one there, there's one down here. So this is going to be a bit of back and forth, trying to fill the space, fitting it in, seeing how it works, sanding it down, that kind of thing, just to get it working really nicely, and these two parts integrated very well. Okay, well, I've done a lot of work on both of these guys. Just getting the shapes working and the seams matching up pretty well. I'm pretty happy with it. Took quite a lot of back and forth between adding material, checking it, sanding it back, figuring it out. It's not, it's not perfect. It's not like factory perfect, but considering how much filling and shaping I've done, I think the result is really good. I'm really happy with that. The next thing I'm going to do is paint these gray, and that will reveal all of the work that needs to be done next in terms of small little holes. I'm a little bit worried about the transitions around here. I don't think they're perfect. You can kind of see right there already. The gray is really going to reveal all of that stuff and let me know what I need to do next. It definitely does reveal the unevenness of the seam lines, so I'm going to do a little bit of work in there to fix that up. Other areas are quite good. The surface is actually pretty nice. There are a few little divots to fill in, but overall not bad at all. And like I was worried about, there definitely needs a little bit of work just on that transition from there to there. Since I have some actual filling to do and not just fixing tiny blemishes on the surface, I am actually going to remove the gray paint with some isopropyl alcohol just to make sure that the new super glue sticks properly. Okay, well, that was definitely a lot of work back and forth. Sanding, checking, painting, sanding, checking, painting. But I have got it to a point now where I'm happy with it. I do kind of have to be okay with the fact that it's never going to be machine perfect. It's a handmade adjustment, and it's always going to have a slight handmade look to it. I think for me, this is as good as I'm going to get it. The thing is that the imperfections I can see up close show up really well in photographs, but in real life and in the grand scheme of the whole kit, you're probably not going to see any of that kind of stuff. I think it's going to turn out really well, particularly since I'm going to do weathering on this. So once I get all the paint on there and all the weathering, you're not really going to see the slight imperfections of the panel lines and stuff like that I can see now. So overall, I'm happy with that and glad to be moving on to the next step in the project. And that is the end of the episode. In the next episode, we'll be attaching those panels to the inner frame and then starting on the feet. So if you enjoyed the video, I'd appreciate it if you give me a like down below. Check out the playlist for previous videos. Subscribe if you want to follow along, and we'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.